All right, because I like making videos, I'm going to do the donate button, and I haven't done this in a while, so we're going to kind of just wing it. So I've got a blank page here. I'm going to start with a div, and I'm going to make a container for it. So I'm going to call it class equals, let's call it donate container. And close it. So there's my first div. It's going to be a box that's going to hold that whole thing. And then I'm just going to put in 5 divs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that will hold toe 1. Two, 3, 4. And the last one will be, I don't know, what do you want to call it? Pad 1. And pad 1 has the word donate in it. Okay, so pretty basic stuff at this point. I'm going to put a blank, I'm going to put a space in here. So I'm going to just go ampersand NBSP. That's just called, that's a non-breaking space. Just because I want something in there that, because I need some content in there. Okay, so let's just do a style in the body here. Okay. So first thing I want to do is set my donate container. I'm going to set a height and a width to it. So I'm going to set this at, I don't know, just 300 pixels. I don't know. Let's set something up. So I'm going to go dot donate container. And I'm going to say width is 300 pixels. Height is another 300 pixels. Close it. I'm going to put a border around it just for fun so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, good. And I'm not going to worry about making these things round. I'm going to try to just get the positioning of the pads, the toes. So I'm going to go, oops, let's try that again. Dot toe and 1. You remember this from the clouds? Position is, what do you think, absolute? Is that right? Top 10, left 10. It's really hard to see what you're doing here. So before I go any further, I'm going to do the same thing I did for the big donate button. I'm going to actually set another class on these, and I'm going to just give it a class of toe. So I've added a second class to each one of these. Oops. And then I'm going to come up here and say, okay, great. Let's do dot toe, and let's give it a width of, I don't know, 40 pixels, and a height of 40 pixels. And let's give it a border, 1 pix, solid green, just for fun. Great, so now I can actually start to see my toe pads here. And then the last one, let's close this. is the pad. Same drill, right? Matter of fact, this is going to be bigger. Okay. So let's see if we can, oops, 60, 60. No, there it is. Oops, 600. Three, 4, 3, 4. So 10 top. This is only actually should be about 20. This will be 30. This will be 40. This is going to be, I don't know, 110. And this will be 170. 70. So you see I'm already starting to it's starting to rough these in place. The main question is what happens when I throw some returns or whatever above at the very in front of this. Yeah, see, because my position is absolute, it's up here, it's moving here at the top. What I want to do is I want to set up a position for my donate container as well. Because remember what absolute does is it takes the it's relative to the last absolute position or the last position. So if I say, and I may want fixed instead, I can't remember. So yeah, where it's, let's go back and look at the definition real quick. I got to read it again. Here we go. So default is static, right? So that's just in line and it just flows with the text. Absolute is position, absolute relative to its first position ancestor. That's not static. Fixed is an element in position relative to the browser window. So that is that's going to, as I scroll, that's going to change, right? Or it's not going to move. Relative is an element position relative to its normal position. So if I were to say relative and then I said left and top as 0, it would basically be where it was supposed to be, just like it's static. But then the absolute position would go, oh, all right, I get it. I'm going to be relative to this, absolute to this. Initial sets property to its default value and inherit. So I'm going to actually do relative on this one. And that did exactly what I wanted it to do. So now as I can come in here and I can say, delete that. My container moves around, but the stuff inside the container doesn't. Okay, so I'm going to go from the top quite a bit more. I'm going to go add another 100. Good. I'm going to take this, remove 100 from that. Cool. I'm going to make this thing bigger. I'm going to make it 100. Great. And actually, let's just keep looking back relative to our PDF here. Let's go even bigger. 120. And I'm going to go back to these guys. I'm going to make these things like 80. Not too much. Cool. So now I can scooch over here a little bit. Still going to go back bigger on my donate button. Awesome. 50, 20. Okay, let's work on the toes. So top is going to be 30, 30 in. So you see what I'm doing is I'm kind of just playing around with getting this positioned about right. Call it 30 as well. I'm going to call this, how wide am I? 60, so I need to go 60 plus 50 is 110 plus a little space in between them, 120. Great. Plus 60 is 180, plus 10 is 190, and 190 plus 60 is 250, plus 10 is 260. Okay, so too far, but you can start to get the gist here. Okay, and then what? Round the corners, right? Round the corners, fill it in. Get this text to move down, center it down. Just put some returns in front of it. Really, all of this needs to just come back over. I need to scoot it all over here. But, you know, if I do toe and then I do border radius, and do what? What's the size? 60. So if I go 30, that was easy. Same drill on the pad. And this is 150, so half 150 is 75. Okay, so, you know, pretty straightforward, right? So I'm going to stop recording there and, you know, get this in position. And then you've got this whole div. Copy this into your CSS, copy this into your body, and you're good to go.